Our daughter is learning to write, so she got her real traveler's notebook and she uses it at every opportunity to record her impressions of the previous days. The weather in Milan at the end of January was rainy and cold, so we thought that the Children's Museum would be a good place to go on the weekend. The site of the museum is very unusual. The building is located inside the completely enclosed courtyard with a Baroque colonnade. And it's like an oasis in a busy city. We went to an interactive show dedicated to Bruno Munari, who is a native of Milan, and he was a famous designer who created children's books and worked on educational systems that emphasizes tactile feedback and generally interaction with the environment. We came about an hour before our time slot, so for us the museum started with the cafeteria and its excellent food.
Скажи, пожалуйста, как твоя паста?
Очень вкусно, очень вкусно.
С удовольствием. Можно я возьму
Или
твою?
тебе нельзя?
Я возьму один кусочек. Можно вот так? Cheers.
Пока не хочу. Потом я тебе сделаю чиз, тогда я хочу.
Хорошо.
We were given orange badges, so we moved from one station to another with other kids and parents with the same color. And the first one was the rubbing on the different textures to create various designs on pieces of paper.
Different color, different color.
Oh, guardalo quello lì.
Ma forse perché questi sono grandissimi, prova a fare qualcos'altro.
Bene, se no guarda, aspetta che ti faccio vedere una cosa, La mano la teniamo qua bella ferma, poi ne facciamo un pezzettino per volta. Tieni la mano bella ferma, ferma. Aspetta.
Non so neanche fare, guarda che bella che è. Guarda qua. Allora sai cosa facciamo? In different color? Visto che non ti piace, di qua lo cambiamo. Facciamo hop. Guarda, fallo qua. Questo qua è meno duro.
Bene, abbiamo il tempo per fare l'ultimo foglio.
Bruno Munari was known for his work with children's books, and this is very fitting that the kids created their own little books out of the rub-through designs.
Perfetto. Poi lo fermiamo con un nodino, questo filo rosso. Hai visto? No, non è che sembra un libro. Così vi siete costruiti un libro. Ma questo libro le ha le parole?
When we were there at the museum with the kids, it all seemed like a chaos, but now that I'm looking through this footage, it actually makes a little bit more sense. The idea of having books everywhere is really central to Bruno Munari's way of education. So kids have this little tactile feedback books hanging around everywhere. It was a lot of fun.
Quelle di legno. Erano quelle formiche, bisogna aprirli, Dov'è? Cercalo, cercalo.
Dopo. Adesso si gioca fuori.
Poi invece c'è un...
The event or exhibit was called Forbidden Not to Touch, so tactile feedback is a central idea in Bruno Munari's way of exploring the world, and this station was probably the main one. There were boxes inside of which there were all kinds of different textures, so it was tremendous fun to just crawl in them, and in fact adults could fit in some of them. This one was one of the favorites because you could actually hide inside the false wall of this box, so Anya insisted that Svetlana would join her.
Anya.
No, questa è buona.
Okay, she's gone. Time to move on. Ah, there she is.
C'è una cosa proprio bella. My sock is gone. Fall down.
Ah, you lost the sock.
Quella delle scarpe.
The website implied that the show would be both English and Italian, but when we got here, it was obvious that all the kids except our daughter spoke only Italian. And it's just at this moment that the group leader realized that our daughter was an English speaker, and she switched to English with her.
Vi spiego una cosa. Ci sono alcuni odori che sono un po' forti, si sentono proprio tanto, e a qualche persona questi odori piacciono e a qualcun'altra invece no.
So that's my personal favorite, the light table, kind of the analog version of the Photoshop.
Ha una luce, questa luce ci aiuta a vedere meglio queste carte, perché su queste carte cosa ci sono? Questa ha un albero, e guardate cosa succede se aggiungo un'altra tessera.
Quella mettila via, dai.
Cosa è cresciuto a quest'albero?
Le foglie.
E poi cosa può crescere ancora?
Dei fiori.
Dei fiori. E guardate un po', posso scegliere anche un po' che tempo fa. Oggi è una giornata di... Guardate chi va a fare la pipì vicino all'albero. Un cagnolino. Ma non si accorge che a un certo punto arrivano... E il sole? E arriva?
La pioggia.
Poi cerchi le
Ok, very good, beautiful.
Era cresciuta l'erba.
Oh, ci sono anche le farfalle.
I'm thinking about this. This is a wall.
This is an Indian. That's for real, an Indian house.
You think it's an Indian house?
Yeah, for real. Because if you stand up like that, it's an Indian house.
Okay, you want to fly it on the side like this?
But do you like it like that?
I like it like that. I think it's a lot of fun.
And now it's going to be my
It's Meraviglioso. Oh, this is nice.
Prendi il sistema, tieni quelle che ti servono, metti via quelle che non ti servono più. Fai tutto da solo senza quelle del permesso.
The kids were so much into creating, they were just unleashed on these light tables with cutout designs, and they were completely not concerned about impermanence of whatever they were making. They were just totally in the moment. And this is kind of different from how the parents looked at it. Everyone had their cameras out, of course ourselves included. We were snapping pictures all the time, and every single design that the kids were making seemed precious. And actually I think it was really nice and special moment and place. So very nice illustration of Bruno Munari's ideas and how kids can become creative if they're provided the right environment and the right tools.
Io te la do, perché io te la vedo.
Farfalle volare sulle teste dei bambini. Oh. E poi andiamo avanti e incontriamo.
La zanzara.
Sapete cosa fa? È il grillo cirillo che arriva da Ivrea con un regalo.